Today LSU and the Ragin' Cajuns are having an exhibition game, baseball, some fall ball. We've come down here to check it out, and hopefully it's going to look a little bit better, well, sound a little bit better than the last video, because now I've got my mic turned around facing me like I should have in the first place, and I've got the wind muff on it. Here we are outside of Russo Park, also known as ML Tigue Moore Field. Up here at the top level of Tigue Moore Field, and I just noticed I've got a lovely view of the Cajun Dome in the distance over there. Okay, so I saw this and it kind of made me giggle. Media use only. Tiny, tiny handy cam. Was expecting something a little more substantial. It's a pretty nice view from up here. Over here we can see that's the old, used to be the Charity Hospital. Was UMC University Medical Center. It's now being run by Lafayette General, which was then taken over by Oshner. And a real nice shot of the super cool stadiums of Cajun Field. I've never seen it from this elevation before. So we wanted to grab a pretzel, and we were thinking a fresh pretzel. Not quite. So what's the consistency like?
Dough.
Yeah, it's basically dough in a bag. Like uncooked dough in a bag.
It's not the university's fault.
No, I know that. This is not what we were expecting. A few years ago, the sea had fallen off the top for a few years. And it wasn't Cajun Field, it was Agent Field.
They fixed it.
We were talking about in football how they throw flags, and I was saying it'd be funnier if they threw colored bricks. and Claire agreed. Why did you agree, Claire?
It's funny.
Because it's funny. Heading back from the game, we're traveling down Cajun Dome Boulevard in Lafayette. As you can tell, it actually is a boulevard. Nice pretty trees and stuff in the middle. Got these nice sidewalks, they're all illuminated now. on ERS. Yeah, we're on ERS Landry, coming up to Bertrand. I don't know what's going on over here.
Bad accent.
And unfortunately, those seem to happen a lot in Lafayette. People drive kind of crazy. Today we're coming into Scott from the opposite direction that we did yesterday.
Lost your costume?
Yep, and we're about to turn, go drop off one of our daughter's friends, and then we might ride around Scott a little bit. So one weird thing I'll point out is this bank right here was an Iberia bank when we first moved there, when I first moved here. And I want to say in the first 2 years we were here, in this day and age, you never, ever hear about a bank robbery. And for some reason, that one got robbed like 3 times in the first year or 2, which was really strange. I don't know what was going on with that. But then it stopped, and it never heard of it happening again. I thought that was very peculiar.
Got my first speeding ticket on this road. Because Scott cops don't play around.
Yeah, don't speed through Scott. That's not advisable. You will get a ticket for going 1 mile per hour over. So this is St. Peter and Paul Church in Scott. I tried coming in yesterday, but it was locked, I'm guessing because it was after a certain hour. Let's try today and see if I can get a shot of the inside. It's usually open, but doesn't appear to be open today. Okay. St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church here in Scott. I know I drove by it in the last video, but figured I'd go ahead and come back by. The light wasn't too great whenever we came last night. Very interesting, unique architecture for a Catholic church. Again, I tried last night, wasn't open, still not open today, which is kind of strange for a Catholic church, but I'll get some interior shots in a future video. So one of the things that we were going to talk about Scott was how there are definitely plans to expand in the future. You know, it is a very small town, but they've got some really big plans, and one of them right now, it's extremely simple. It's just this little facility up here where they do like a little farmer's market on the weekends. But eventually, as you can see, this is going to be this big old complex. Going down Cameron Street, heading out of Scott. There's our post office.
Scott goes on for a little longer.
Yeah, Scott goes on for a ways technically, but like the town part is the town center is pretty small. It's deceptive. The population, I believe, is around 8,000 or so in the city of Scott, and driving through it, you'd think it would be more like 800, but it's because the town itself is pretty tiny, but the city limits go out quite a ways. So up here in the distance, you're going to see this tall structure on the right jutting up, and what that actually is I honestly don't know what to call the machinery, but it's an aggregate facility. They process rock and limestone and things like that. Whenever I was doing our backyard, I pulled up there in a 4Runner and a shovel, and they were kind of surprised that I was just gonna shovel a truckload of that stuff into the back with all the carpet and everything, and I was like, yeah, it's a truck, isn't it? I guess most people don't do that.
There's our veterinary services.
The wagon train.
Great place. Love it.
Yeah, probably the nicest vets we've ever dealt with. And this is the Apollo Road extension. So eventually Apollo Road, and they've been talking about this for decades, but eventually Apollo Road is going to run all the way from the roundabout by the interstate out to Dulles Drive in Lafayette, where it's going to be a massive roundabout that's going to connect all of that. And as you can see, there's quite a few new homes coming up. This is going to be West Village, you've been around Lafayette and you know about River Ranch, it's a similar style development. They actually opened this during the pandemic, and we said, hey, let's go ride out here just to see what the new road looks like, and we didn't think anybody else would be on it yet.
Yeah.
But there were actually quite a few cars, and it was because people were so bored that a whole bunch of them just went out to ride on the new road because people were tired of being at home. Made the little loop. We're heading back up Apollo Road north, and we're going to show you the new library. New library opened, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, I'll say 19.
Yeah, around 2019 the new library opened up.
It was this basically a hole in the wall that pretty much had nothing in it. Like it was just part of another like little, almost like teeny tiny strip mall, and then they made this.
Yeah, the previous library was basically part of a very tiny strip mall. And I mean, the whole room couldn't have been, what, 20 feet by 20 feet or something? It wasn't very big.
Yeah, it's a physical therapy office now. That's how small it was.
So this is the West Regional Library.
Yes.
Curbs are a little close. They've got a bunch of gouges on them. I wonder why.
People don't want to turn.
Yep. A lot of folks coming through here in big SUVs, and it's pretty tight quarters. One of the things they added that I thought was pretty cool was electric car charging stations.
Oh, look, there's somebody using them.
And it looks like there are 2 right now. It's like a Tesla and a Chevy. Yeah, very interesting architecture. The inside is beautiful. If it were open right now, I'd go walk around and show you, but I'll probably get that in one of the next videos or 2. As you can see, a lot of construction going on Apollo Road. They're trying to get it all widened all the way down to where it meets Cameron and the new section. Now we're just going to take a little drive down one of the older streets. Just kind of let you get a look at the neighborhood. Off to the left is Westside Elementary, or yeah.
Got some bad flood damage or something.
Yeah, I think it was flood damage. Definitely some old little houses around here. Little small cemetery. Here's that piece of building that we saw yesterday. There used to be more tin on that a few years ago. I think they're just slowly tearing it down. Coming up here on the left is the old bank that we talked about. And like we mentioned in the other video, it's the column out front gets painted pretty much for any season. Right now it's painted for elections. But as you can see, La Place de Paul H. Bigno. And there's the Saunier Gallery again, as well as the new renovated event center. I always thought this was a really pretty house right here, kind of on its own little plot of land.
There's a couple of really pretty ones around here.
And this is Mills Highway, which heads north, goes all the way up into Carencro, which is where we live now. Mobile home, very clean mobile home park over here. So we're passing on the outskirts of our old neighborhood. Oh, let's not forget about the weird little two-story shotgun up here. We've always talked about, we'd love to know the story behind this thing, because I've never seen a building quite like it. It was built really, really narrow, but 2 stories. Not something you see every day. I'm gonna see if we can get a better shot of it as I drive past it. Yeah, very strange little construction. I don't know if it was just personal preference or if there was a reason they built it that way. And we're now above I-10. Texas is that way. Baton Rouge is that way. So I guess that about wraps up this one. See you guys in the next video.